So having the gun up ready to fire, right? Pretty well everybody understood, even from their first run yesterday, the importance of having the gun up ready to shoot today. A couple of people still kind of struggled on it. A couple of people went through the motions, right? I got the gun up, but I'm just not confident to really let a shot rip until everything is completely settled and stopped moving versus moving acceptably, okay? A couple of things we can look at as far as strategies. First of all, how I'm gonna set my feet up, right? So the stage briefing, of course, was heels touching marks, correct? Most everybody pretty well stands, again, very erect, their hips, right? Directly over or balanced over their knees. Did anybody catch AJ by chance and how preloaded he was rolled the direction he wanted to go? Anybody happen to catch me kind of doing the same thing? AJ, fortunately, you know, and Young and a couple of these guys have taken my class before. It's something I stress very, very much so. As far as like that, John, we just talked about it, like getting the hips engaged or getting directed where you want to go, right? And I need to get my hips face the direction I want to go, because it doesn't make as much sense to try to hop, skip, or to cross step as much if I can set myself up to roll my hips the direction I want to go and then preload, right? My hips almost over my knees, almost to a lean. So like if somebody really came up and pushed me over, I would almost have to fall out of position, right? I want to load my lead leg. Neil, this is where it's probably going to sound a little foreign to you because we're going to talk some football camp stuff again here, right? So anybody that's got any sort of athletic past, right? Everything's about loading the back leg so that you can lift the front leg and push off with the back leg. When it comes to this, it's worth a quarter of a second to over 3/10 of a second to actually load the inside leg, but then just to lift that leg and almost let gravity do the work to let you fall into the direction you want to go, versus trying to preload the back leg and push or explode. It's gonna feel funny to everybody that has almost done a drop step to preload the back leg to push forward. It's gonna feel really funny to almost lean yourself the direction you wanna go and then just lift the leg. But if I just lift the leg, literally it's like kicking the leg out from underneath a loaded table, right? I kick that leg out, but I have to catch myself with that same leg. But that first step becomes so much smoother and faster and less muscular engagement. I don't have to work as hard to drive my body that direction. Like I said, I get to let gravity, strongest force on earth, right? Basically help my body direct itself that direction. So now I don't have to go and push. I just get to lift a leg and let it go, okay? So that's gonna be key number one. So even though I've gotta be heels on X's, right? I get to position my body or position my hips just over my knees enough to where I'm balanced on the ball of that lead foot, and then I'm just gonna lift that lead foot and catch it about a step out. 1, 2, 3. So instead of drop stepping to explode, right? Just gonna absorb the draw into it, right? Just a simple step. I'm working more efficiently. I'm working smarter, not harder. The other thing to spot is, where is that target and where is everybody picking up that target? Are they waiting to really pick up that target around that barrel there, just about where the target starts to expose a solid A? Or are they watching or looking where that target just exposes enough of the A and then aiming at that? So I've got one round in the gun here, or one round in a magazine. Actually, I'm gonna take a loaded magazine here, and we're gonna do a couple of ways here, right? Everybody got their ears on? We're going hot. So what I'm gonna do is, as I start to already see, right, even from here, I can't see the target yet. As I take 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, now I'm seeing basically all of the Charlie and all of the Delta. The A zone, that perf, the A zone perf is just lined up to that barrel. Well, obviously, I want to set myself up to shoot the most accurate shots with as minimum exposure as possible. If I'm waiting for A zone, right? If I'm waiting for A zone, I'm waiting here, which means I'm not even punching the gun out till here, and then I end up, right? I've had to wait for full exposure on the A. However, if I've got the gun up earlier, I'm gonna aim at what's not even there yet, okay? I'm not aiming at the Charlie Delta. I'm actually aiming, I'm setting my sights and aiming right there at the barrel. And I'm gonna let that target expose itself to my sights, and I'm basically gonna ambush that target the very moment the A zone becomes available, right? Or it's exposed. So as I'm walking the shot in, I'm walking. As soon as that target exposes itself, boom, I'm taking the shot. I'm shooting earlier or sooner. I'm not reacting or trying to shoot it faster. Where did I take that shot at? How far back off of this position was I?
3 feet.
Mm-hmm. So if I can get the first shot broke by then, where do you think I can get the second shot broke? Especially if I'm still allowing myself to watch the sights, right? I've got to call every shot. So the sights lift and then the sights return. I might be mid-step, right? And as I step down, the sights are going to be bouncy. Now I have to bring my center of gravity a little lower, right? I got to stabilize things, but I'm going to let the sights bounce, settle, boom. Now I've taken my second shot. Did I have to stop or post up to let that happen? So I've turned a full position into nothing more than kind of a shoot on the move or roll through. So what would have been right? Seems pretty fast, right? But not very efficient. I'm waiting, I get full exposure, then I punch the gun out and then I shoot. Turns into took a delta on that first one, but I was done shooting and never had to do anything other than just slow my momentum down to round the corner.
And how much time do you think you saved with that?
Easily a second. This is where, though, we get to time, or I get to time each individual. We're going to find our own amount of time savings. This ain't about me and you guys witnessing my time savings. This is about you experiencing time savings for yourself and pushing your limits, pushing your boundaries a little bit.